So I'm going to show you how to use your speed square to judge the height of something. Like, for example, this is a small cabin, but let's say you had a really tall building and maybe you want to rent maybe a man lift or a piece of equipment. You're not exactly sure how tall that building is and you don't want to rent the wrong piece of equipment. It's important for this that the square be used level. So I'm actually using this tripod with this little bubble level, and I've set the tripod up to be nice and level. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set my square on here, and we're going to have to move this tripod back and forth to find the point in time where my eye, when looking down the back of the speed square here, matches up with the peak of the roof. About right there. So now we've set it looking up, and what we're going to do is transfer that to the ground looking down. So what I've done now is I've set a rock where that line would contact the ground and set it right there. And now I can take a tape measure from the base of this building and measure out on the ground to my rock. And it looks like we're right at about 14 feet, maybe an inch over, something like that. We are right at 14 feet. Be careful with this trick. It's really easy to make a mistake. See how the ridge is about 2 feet out from the edge of the building? If you measure from the building, you're going to be wrong. So if you have to, transfer that measurement down to the ground, or try to aim for where the building actually intersects the square. If you had a situation where you're trying to decide whether you could fall a tree, maybe toward a building or toward a house or maybe toward the street, you can use this trick to figure out how tall the tree is also. So here I have your common speed square. You'd expect to measure rafters, make cuts, cross cuts, things like that with it. Maybe use it as a ruler along the top edge, make straight marks with it, things like that. But I'm going to show you a really cool hack you can use your speed square to do. For this hack, you're going to make sure that you have a speed square that has a small notch right here at the pivot. If you look really close, this speed square does not have this notch. So to do this one, make sure your speed square has this little notch. For this hack, you're also going to need to have a chalk box, and at the end of your chalk box, you're going to want to have a hook. So you're on a construction site, job site, DIY site, and you need to make a level line, but either you forgot your level or you just don't have one, and so you don't have the convenience of using a bubble level to make a line. But for some reason, you have your chalk box and a speed square. Let me show you how to make a level line using these two tools. So what I'm going to do is take the hook from my chalk box, and I'm going to hook it underneath this small cliff on the square, and I'm going to run my line up through the notch in the pivot. And now we can just drop our chalk box down. Now what we can do is we can look at the very small measurements here are the degree measurements on the bottom of the speed square, and we can line the string up with 45 degrees. Once we're there, we can make our mark. And let's make our mark here. Okay, so our mark is right along here. And let's check it with our bubble level. It looks really, really good. And of course, now this is a super powerful tool because now you could measure off of this. You can actually measure down and transfer that line if you needed to. You could pull angles from this if you wanted to. Lots of ideas to how to go from this level line and make really useful things from it. The next trick I want to show you is how to use your speed square as a fence to make really accurate cross cuts. So normally you'd take your measurement and then you'd put your square on your material and you make a line, right? And now you want to try to freehand that cut with your circular saw. You're going to line it up and you're going to kind of try to find your way across the board, and it's probably going to be pretty good. But let me show you a trick to do this where you can just use your speed square as a fence. So go ahead and line this up with the material, and then you'll notice that the table on your circular saw can actually ride against the square as a fence. So what you do is move this over on your material until your saw reaches the 0 line on your line. See that? And now we can just make a cut using our speed square as our fence. Perfect. Of course, that's just a small example, and you're somewhat limited by the length of your speed square here. This example is really great for quickly cross-cutting things like studs, 2x4s, 2x6s, and stuff like that. So if you need to grab something, make a mark,